Lions fans, we are here to talk about what occurred last night and some huge important news regarding injury front that has massive ramifications for this football team going forward. The hits just absolutely continue defensively with big time injuries, and we got two really important injuries that's not good. Per Dan Campbell, Alim McNeill potentially season-ending injury due to a knee. Carlton Davis jaw potentially out for the season. Khalil Dorsey 100% out for the season. Carlton Davis and Alim McNeill. Alim McNeill has been absolutely terrifying offensive lineman in the interior of the Lions' defensive line. We lost Aiden Hutchinson. He was obviously the biggest piece, and now Alim McNeill was the second biggest piece to the interior. And we've seen what happened on this defensive line, just getting destroyed last night. This is terrible news for the Lions defense. And this is going to hurt going forward. Alim McNeill was so important. And we've had such a good defense this year. With all the injuries, it's now really taking effect, and you can see it. Man, this one hurts. In the comment section right now, put prayers up for, first off, for Alim McNeill and Carlton Davis. Prayers up right now for those guys in the comments. Do that right now. For Alim McNeill, the Lions can recover, right? We got Levi and Onwuzurike, DJ Reader. Darius Smith can do some interior. Same with Joshua Pascal. Okay, the Lions do have the ability to replace some of this production here with Levi. We got to get these guys to stay on the field, though. Levi has not been consistent with his health as well, but he's going to have to be going forward as we're getting close to the playoffs. This is the time where we cannot have these devastating injuries, and we are. So this is a big injury to the Lions' defensive line. It is. And it's going to be really difficult to see what they can do. Now, Aaron Glenn, he's been really good pretty much up to this point. I honestly think that Josh Allen played outstanding, beyond outstanding. But there was a lot of issues at the linebackers and the defensive line, and this is just going to add to it. The linebackers, the play last night was awful. And that has obviously the defensive line has something to do with that. That's bad as well. And then having Alim McNeill out is going to do a little bit more damage. But we're going to talk about, the bigger injury that I think that's going to hurt the Lions defense. But first, shout out to the sponsor of today's show is sponsored by Game Time, the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets to sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest price is guaranteed. That's the Game Time guaranteed. And going to a game is much better than being on the couch. Lions are traveling to Chicago in a huge game for the Lions and in the NFC North, and we need all hands on deck. You want to get tickets to go to that game? Our friends from Game Time has a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks. And what it does, it filters out all the fluff to give you the best deals on tickets, so you're not spending hours trying to find the best deals on seats. And how do you find this feature? Well, you go into Game Time, and you select the Game Time Picks button. It'll be in a 3D view. It automatically then does the research for you, and it filters out all the tickets in the database to give you the best deals and the best seats, so you don't spend hours on a bunch of different ticketing sites trying to find the best tickets. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. In the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and if you move phone left to right, you can see the surrounding area, kind of like a 3D live photo. Also, all pricing is right there for you. No hidden fees at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Do you want to get a quick deal? Plug in Chat Sports and you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. How do you do that? You go to the redeem code section, plug in Chat Sports. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. You got to create your account. You got to have an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Now, one of the injuries that I think is really devastating here is the Carlton Davis jaw injury. And he potentially could be season-ending per Dan Campbell. And this is huge because the Lions' secondary has been solid. Carlton Davis has been great out there for the Lions' defense. Really good. And Terrion Arnold, he's a rookie. Carlton Davis was the veteran presence that could help out. This one is devastating because not only now is the defensive line banged up, we know the linebacking core has been hit. Now the hits are starting to come in the secondary by losing Carlton Davis, who's been one of the strongest players out there, obviously next to Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. This one really stings. We're going to be going against offenses when we look into the playoffs like potentially the Seattle Seahawks, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Packers, and they got some big receivers. Carlton Davis is a physical guy, and he can stay with them. And this one hurts us. Again, in the comments, just prayers up to Carlton Davis and Alim McNeill. That's what this one is about. What can the Lions do to replace it? Well, we drafted a guy in Ennis Rakestraw, and he's going to have to step up. He's getting close to returning and ready for the Lions. We drafted in the second round. It's time for the young fella to step up. That's the reason we drafted 2 corners. We drafted these guys due to injury. And a lot of people wanted to know why we decided to go back-to-back cornerbacks. Well, now at the end here of this season, losing our starter in Carlton Davis, we found out the reason. And I fully agreed with them doubling up in corner in the draft because I believed you got to have that depth. And right now, that depth is going to be utilized big time with Ennis Rakestraw. And then you got obviously Emmanuel Mosley, who is inactive, and he's going to be in games now because Khalil Dorsey is done for the year in a devastating injury. So Emmanuel Mosley is going to have to step up after we picked up in free agency and injuries. These guys are going to have to step up in a big loss to Carlton Davis. You know, the loss doesn't matter at this point. I wanted to really talk about Dan Campbell and the onside kick, the first one. I thought that was a really dumb play. And I'm not mad. There's people saying in my stream, "Oh, we should fire Dan Campbell and all that stuff." That's ridiculous. I just think it was a really dumb play. But that's kind of pointless now. Like, the biggest news is these injuries. It's nothing else. We need Alex Anzalone back so bad. We need these players to come back. We're just so banged up. And hopefully Ennis can step up. I do believe Levi Onwuzurike can step up. We've seen him step up. We just need him to stay healthy because he's had a pretty good year. So I do believe in Levi. Secondary, that one hurts. Thankfully, we got a great offense. A great offense is going to have to do it again. We know in Detroit, sometimes you got to rely on the offense, and time is now. to rely on that bad boy. Again, prayers up to Alim McNeill and Carlton Davis. So I wanted to do the primarily video about that. Let's go ahead and go quick into the game. Defense banged up. We know the offense did fantastic. Jared Goff, almost 500 yards passing, insane. Hey, Jahmyr Gibbs, the offense looked great. The offense is great. The defense is completely banged up. Jake Bates missed a field goal. Man, we lost to a great quarterback in Josh Allen. And I got to say, I'm not disappointed in this team. We fought so hard. We fought tooth and nail. Dumb decision by Dan Campbell in the onside kick. That was a dumb decision, okay? That was dumb. Did it ultimately would have changed the outcome? Who knows? Probably even if you did if you just kicked it off, they would have scored a touchdown anyways because our defense was that bad. But it was a dumb decision. We just got to somehow get health on this defense. We got to get health. That is the biggest thing here, is health. We face Chicago. I fully expect the Lions to win this game. They're going to be very upset. We got to root tonight for the Bears. Hopefully the Bears can pull off an upset. But I fully expect the Lions to win the game next week, to come out and be ruthless out there to get that win, to get the 13 wins. So I don't think the wheels falls off. I don't think we're exposed. None of that crazy stuff. But the injuries are hurting. With that said, folks, adios.